Chris Gall.
Yeah, well, it's
Jeez.
can't get
It's only been like 3 weeks.
Yeah.
for what? Oh,
By the way, we're live.
hours.
Yeah, I know we are.
We're live!
Well, I'm running down the road trying to loosen my load. I got 7 podcasts on my mind. 4 that wanna bore me, 2 that wanna scold me, but 1 is a friend of mine. It's the Ramblecast. It's the Ramblecast. Don't let the sound of Jack's old jokes drive you crazy.
Good luck with that.
Right now, while you still can, don't even try to understand. Just laugh along with your friends on the Ramblecast.
I gotta say, Nick, this is your best one in about a month.
That's true.
At least, yeah.
I would agree with that.
Even the crack about me was pretty good.
Oh, you heard that, did you? Okay.
I heard it. I got hit. Like, I didn't. I just didn't have a notepad to scribble on when I'm bored with the conversation. Not that ever happened.
You were anticipating that. Usually, when
that's what all year.
Well, welcome back to the Ramblecast After Dark. It's 2021.
Hey, before we get going, can I ask something? How
Can
long?
you just fucking interrupt me?
Yeah. How long can we go? Is the rule of saying Happy New Year?
Oh,
Fuck that.
It's like fuck, man.
That shit ends on like January 2nd.
I remember when I was working. I
say
people,
you gotta
like in March would go happy, and I was like, I know they've wished me this like 10 times. I just want to say fuck off, man.
I think this past Monday was the cutoff. Like, you know, maybe
I
not.
I
got pulled over by a cop
January
on-
74th. Okay, it's over. No more.
Okay, all right.
January 74th.
Yeah.
That's exactly what the fuck I said.
Oh, okay.
All right, you can go. I'm sorry, Matt. Continue.
Happy holidays there. Happy holidays, Jack.
Nothing left to say. I just was really glad seeing you guys. It's been forever, you know.
How much happened in the last 3 weeks?
Not much at all.
Mm-hmm.
But damn, have I been watching a lot of TV over the break?
It's true.
So,
I knocked out quite a bit as well. You know, what else is there to do?
Well, there was an offer. What else? Is there anything on the news lately? I was watching or my email. I got an email about a HBO offer or whatever. I think it was like about a week before WW84 dropped, and I was like, okay, I've been waiting for this. I've been waiting for some discount on HBO just to say, let's do it.
Oh, you don't have HBO at all?
I didn't have HBO. I was kind of waiting for like a moment to get it over the holidays.
Freeloaders.
So
Wait,
no, I don't.
I'm a freeloader. I have Jay's account.
No, I freeload other people. I give it to my family members. Because you know that's what you do. It's like you're watching the show together. Anyway, I was somewhat excited about Wonder Woman. I was like, okay, I'm down with the hype, right?
I think, yeah. And then you watched it, and then you wondered where the 2.5 hours of your life went.
I was like, really on Christmas? Thanks for shitting on Christmas. I will just say that of the streaming wars between Wonder Woman 84 and Soul, did anybody else watch Soul?
I caught the last bit of it because my nephews rented it before I got up, and I caught like the last 30 minutes of it. And for what I saw, it looked awesome.
I loved it.
I've heard it's awesome, but I didn't watch it.
It was the heartwarming film that you wanted to watch with your family. And my daughter, who absolutely hates jazz, I'm saying like jazzy love songs is a thing to her. That if she thinks that it's jazzy love music, that's it. It's out. It's in the shitter. But this movie won her over, which is based on, or centers around a jazz musician.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Are the ghost former jazz players?
They're not ghosts. I wouldn't call them ghosts, really.
All right, the dead people next door, are they former jazz players?
In Soul?
No, in life, because you said your daughter.
You're talking.
You said your
daughter.
Your daughter hates jazz, and she was her room was haunted. You left her in there when she was 3 months old by herself.
Refer back to
they
Nick's
they were blues musicians. They like to stay down.
Okay.
Refer to Nick's song about Jack's old jokes. That is the one thing.
Hey, take it easy, Matt. Take it easy.
But that is something that didn't die over 2020.
There's no cure for it.
No, but watch out because we're gonna assault it later.
So your daughter hates jazz.
My daughter hates jazz, but she was won over by this movie, and there's a lovable cat, which cat overwins any, jazz musician.
What platform was it on?
It's on Disney Plus.
Disney Plus. Okay, I'll have to check it out. I have to actually watch it in whole now. Yeah.
I couldn't find time to watch it because I was still watching Wonder Woman.
I was so excited for Wonder Woman 84. We waited so long to watch it. The hype was built up for it. The first 10 minutes are great with a little girl, little Diana, like all that. And I really wanted that to play into some kind of part in the plot. And it was just some
payoff.
Some payoff, yeah. It was like just a standalone 10-minute clip. You're like,
well, she has to sacrifice. She's right.
Yeah,
sort of.
I'm reaching for it here. I'm reaching for it.
Yeah, but there's just there's a lot of really weird plot holes in 84, and just it's jarring. And
it's funny, the scene in I don't want to spoil if you haven't seen it. Don't spoil it. But
skip ahead.
There's a scene the scene in the mall that was almost like the original.
Yeah, and I didn't mind like the tongue-in-cheek action sequence there. Like, I mean, there was like when it was happening, I was like, oh, this is kind of over the top, but I dig what they're doing here. And there were moments of like, oh, okay, I see where you're going. Like, this is cool. But I think it was just like when you're on the journey of Wonder Woman 84, there's all these moments where you're like, okay, this is cool, but it doesn't really stick the landing,
right?
Yeah, I didn't hate it. I mean, I know a lot of people hated it. I thought there was it Nick, you and I texting back? Was it?
Yeah, because that was I was maybe 30 minutes, 40 minutes into it, and I sent it out to all four of us, and I was like, so far I'm not digging Wonder Woman 84, and then Jack was like, oh, it gets better, and I was like, okay, let's hope so, and then
I said it picks up a little because it has that. Yeah. When they're trying to give the plot, it just dives. I mean, it just doesn't reel you in. You're like going, you're looking around and, I mean, Gal Gadot's on the screen and you're just like, I can't pay attention because
I seriously, I could watch her all day. I mean, she's such a beautiful actor.
My dad.
You know that in the first one, she was pregnant for like half the film.
Yeah.
That's why she glowed.
Her belly.
Why she glowed? Yeah.
I look more pregnant than she does.
Yeah. I know. My dad, who will watch anything, who probably thinks every Chuck Norris film is an Oscar contender, even looked at me after 84 was over and said, 1 star, 2 stars only because of Gal Gadot's legs. And I'm like, that's fair.
It's hard to argue with that because, like I said, she's stunning. Yeah. But I think that the problem was that your villain couldn't hate the villain, right?
Yeah, I mean, you can't hate Mando. Yeah,
but still, even if you,
they tried. I mean, they tried to redeem. They tried to shoehorn. Yeah, I know he wasn't a complete bad guy, but they tried to shoehorn in you appreciating him at the end, and I think there was just moments where it just felt like about 20 minutes too long.
Yeah,
and there was some fat that needed to be trimmed up.
In the Indiana Jones scene.
At the end, you mean?
No.
What?
The Indiana Jones.
Oh,
no.
You mean with the vehicles?
Yes.
Okay. I was trying to follow you on what you mean.
I was like going, I don't want to spoil anyone, but I'd be like, my first thought, well, there's Indiana Jones, and then she goes under I'm like going. But I love the chemistry between Gal Gadot and Chris Pine.
It was great, yeah.
Chris Pine. They should do something else because it's believable. Mm-hmm. Kristen Wiig. It took me a while to forget that was Kristen Wiig.
I guess I didn't mind. I was along for the ride.
You had so many characters that you the characters start going in your head. But
I mean, there were so many things I felt like. One, she left in the end of the first movie. She left humanity behind because they're basically, I'm done with interfering with mankind. So they didn't even really set up at all why she decided to come back. Like that needed to be an important, like, what is so serious that she said, now I need to save humanity. She's
got that giant bird thing.
Yeah. And then like, I forgot what I was going to say about.
You got so excited about Wonder
Woman.
I
was just talking Wonder Woman. But there's a lot of weird just things that happen in it. Like you're talking about, and then they, being set in the 80s, I was really expecting some more 80s tropes, like good 80s music or like things that would really make you nostalgic. None of that was there. And then they did, and then the kind of made me a little irky a little bit was like the whole Kristen Wiig, very 90s stereotype of like, oh, she's not attractive now because she wears glasses and a ponytail, but we get rid of those two things and she's smoking hot. And you're like, what the heck? Like,
not another teen movie.
Not another teen movie, yeah. And I was like, okay. I mean, I don't want to sit here and nitpick this movie to death, but it definitely had some weird ones. Like the one that I really noticed that really kind of just slightly irked me a bit was that when they're flying in the plane, the couple scenes prior to this, they're all wearing coats, and she even gives a homeless guy stuff like "stay warm," keep fed, and whatnot. Then they're in the plane, and there's fireworks going off, and she goes, "4th of July," and you're like, "What? How did that happen?" Like we just skipped over like 6 months.
Well, sometimes it can be cold up north.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So I've been silent this time because I have not seen it yet.
Oh, I'm sorry, Chris.
I know it's okay, and I don't
spoiler
on it, so don't even worry about it. I've literally not heard one remotely positive review of this movie from anybody that I know who has seen it. It is by far and away the worst reviewed movie I've heard.
Let's just say it makes Green Lantern look like a classic.
Wow. It's just disappointing, I think. Even though I wasn't like a huge fan of the first one, I know a lot of people praise it, and it's good.
I love the first.
It's good.
The first one is my favorite DC movie, hands down.
I'm just not all that. So I was actually wanting. I wanted more, and I
wanted the whole world.
Yeah.
I will just say one other thing is my wife, who is not a superhero movie watcher, and was subjected to this movie. Her criticism of it was that, look, you have a female action hero, an iconic one at that, and you need to sell it to little girls. And for my daughter, who was basically like loved Soul and Wonder Woman, she was just kind of like meh. She loves Captain Marvel. Captain Marvel won her over as a female action hero and what that movie does. Wonder Woman 84 does not. And I will use those two as my barometer as to gauge this movie.
Well, there wasn't a lot of action in the movie.
Because my son and I, who also like superhero movies and, we'll watch them together, he and I were like, yeah, I mean, the action scenes were good, but we watched Shazam just a couple days later and loved that. Like, Shazam does, I think, a good job of kind of towing the line that this new Spider-Man did, where it's kind of like there's at least a brother situation or a friendship situation. It's not brothers, but it's kind of like they're best friends or they're kids together, and you see kind of that friendship throughout the movie, which is, I think, a strength to the new Spider-Man movies, is that even though he is younger kids, can look at them and be like, oh yeah, that's like how I see myself in high school, or that's how, I hope my best friend is, so, so missed opportunity there. But if you're like me and you have HBO now, watch some of the other DC movies that are maybe better. The thing that I fell in love with HBO, and I'm trying not to make this a big commercial for HBO, but I've just kind of like been diving into the Warner Brothers. They've got all of the Bugs Bunny cartoons on there.
Right.
Nice.
It's amazing. And there's some new Looney Tunes in there, and I find them to be...
Do they have the baseball one?
I don't know. You'll have to go in. They have a ton of the classic Looney Tunes, but the there's a newer season. There's only one season and maybe like 10 episodes. They're like 12 minutes each. It's worth a look because there's some Ren and Stimpy-esque moments in it. And I don't know who's animating or is writing these because I didn't pay that close attention to it. But I thought they were funny. And they did some things with taking it back to the classic, like the way Bugs Bunny looked in the 30s, the way Daffy and Porky.
He was kind of sickly looking, right?
Well, just the shape of his head. They kind of went with more of that style. Same with Daffy and Porky. They took him old school. And I kind of like that style as far as like mixing it up. So
have they CGI'd out Elmer Fudd's gun and replaced it with like a carrot?
Why is everybody so concerned about Elmer Fudd? He can do his own thing without the gun. He's not a one-trick pony.
But I'm saying the shows you're saying the old classics. So
the old classics are on there. Yes. I don't know about the gun episodes. I assume they're on there because the one I just watched before we recorded with my kids, because my son also has realized that a Bugs Bunny cartoon is only 6 minutes and we can watch one right before bed. Right, Dad?
What's the difference between 1 and 2, Dad? We might just watch a second one.
Exactly. And there was one with Bugs Bunny in the army, and the sergeant is smoking a cigarette.
I like that.
Yes.
Yeah.
He keeps losing his stripes.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what I actually watched also on Ding Ding HBO. Ding Ding. I watched it yesterday and today. I split it up because it was like 2:00 in the morning. I was watching it last night, but I finished it up this afternoon. But I watched the movie The King of Staten Island. I don't know if you guys have seen it.
With what's his name?
Yes.
The guy from Saturday Night Live.
Yes. I forgot his name. God damn it.
Pete
Davidson. Yes.
Davidson.
Townsend.
And Bill Burr, Martha Tomei, Steve Buscemi, the dude who spray painted the dicks. Yeah. So
he sounds the same, doesn't he?
I'll tell you, like I went into this just because I was just messing around last night, and I stumbled upon HBO Max in my browser, and I was like, oh man, I haven't logged into this thing in forever. I've been paying for it and not watching it. So I popped it up, and it was like the first recommended movie was The King of Staten Island. And I had heard about it because I heard about it on the Bill Burr podcast and this, that, and the other. And I was like, you know what? Fine, I'll give it a shot. I'll watch it. I didn't know what to expect. I loved it. I actually really, really liked the movie. I mean, granted, it was filled with awkward writing, because you can see they definitely took a lot of content and kind of parsed it down to the final product. So there's some dialogue that didn't fit. There's some kind of character development that kind of like skipped a couple of beats here and there. But overall, I thought it was a really, really good movie.
Now, is it about him losing someone in 9/11? Is that what
present day or what?
It's present day. So here's the story. It's present day, and the story is about Pete Davidson's character, whose father was a firefighter killed in a fire. Grew up kind of like a reckless abandon, heavy into drugs and so forth. He's in his mid-20s. Younger sister, lives with his single mom, who is Marissa Tomei. And Marissa Tomei ends up meeting Bill Burr, his character, who kind of comes in and
no wonder you watched it.
Yeah, that's how I found out about it. It ends up dating Bill Burr, and it's like a replacement of.
So bald guy has a chance.
Replacement of the fallen hero. And Bill Burr also happens to be a firefighter too. So there's a connection there, right? Or not Bill Burr. I'm sorry. Bill Burr's character, also happens to be a firefighter. So there's like a little bit of an interesting connection there. But it's a really good story about kind of like him kind of changing his life around a little bit. I do highly recommend it. So I would say if you got a couple hours to watch a movie, check out The King of Staten Island. There are a few, probably a handful of laugh out loud moments. And there's some sad moments too, but overall, I really, really enjoyed it.
Well, once I finish Wonder Woman, I'll add it to my list.
Speaking of the guy,
Pete Davidson's dad died in 9/11.
So yeah, so this movie is loosely based on Pete Davidson's life.
His dad was a firefighter, right?
He died in 9/11.
Yeah.
Yeah. So and he grew up on Staten Island, and I don't know how true to the story is about his mom dating again or whatever, but supposedly the movie is loosely but fairly closely based on Pete Davidson's life.
okay. Speaking of the guy that draws dicks, I'm assuming everybody watched Cobra Kai season 3.
Not yet. Not in its entirety.
Well, this is not, okay, if you've seen like the early episode, then you've seen what I'm talking about. So, there's a scene where, the guy breaks his arm and then you got the cast, right? And the thing that, is obviously a dick drawn on the cast. And then the girl asks for the Sharpie. My mind immediately went to, oh, she's going to draw the ball hairs. Can't forget those.
Fooled you on that one, didn't you?
It did. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, the two shows that I thought I would have watched by now, I haven't. I have not watched the entirety of.
You're the one that got us into Cobra Kai, if I remember correctly.
I know. I haven't. I just haven't been able to. So I have not watched Cobra Kai, and I have not watched Letterkenny.
I watched first 8 episodes of Cobra Kai in one night, and it was like 3:30 in the morning. I go, all right, I can't do this. I gotta get some sleep. Then watch the next 2 the next day. But I liked it, but there's one part I don't like, and
there's actually of the 3 seasons, this one was the one that disappointed me a little bit. I mean, I thought it was the if I had to rate them, it would be the lowest one rated, because there's a couple things that they just never addressed. Like they would bring them up and like, oh, and then like just left it. And you're like, well, what about that? Like with the car dealership, that's like in episode 2, like that never gets resolved. And then
it does. Yeah, it does.
It does a little bit, but they don't really, and there's a couple others I can't think of off the top of my head. But like, I also would have liked to see more of the Japanese stuff. But
yeah, well, the part that bothers me the most is I'm not going to feel sorry for this person, and that's all I'm going to say. If there's someone there, they're literally trying to make me understand why he is the way he is.
Oh, right. I mean, yeah.
And I'm like, oh, fuck that.
Are we talking about Wonder Woman again?
Yeah, we're talking about Wonder Woman.
You can say he is one of the main
beginning of that episode of that arc, and you're kind of getting the whole picture of what's his name, John
Kreese.
Yeah.
Kreese. Oh, so you know, okay.
John Kreese when he's younger. I literally I watched up until the diner scene. That's
okay.
It.
Okay, yeah. I mean, but it's because where it's going with this. I mean, they're setting up a little bit of his backstory because they're going to reintroduce Terry Silver at some point. And it's like, oh, it's like, okay, I get it.
Yeah, so I said, "Fuck." I'm not. I like it, but I'm not. I don't care. I don't care what happens. I'm not going to like that guy.
Oh, he's you were rooting for him in season 2, and then like now, he's irredeemable now.
I never rooted for him.
No, I mean, because you saw him at the beginning of season 1, like I'm back, and he's like, I changed my ways, and I was like, and then it's like, no, once you're a bad guy.
No. He tried to hit Mr. Miyagi and ended up hitting the windows of the car. Because Mr. Miyagi went.
Just moved out of the way. Yeah. I did like season 3. I kind of wanted a little more, but I mean, from what I understand, they're going to do 6 seasons total. I think.
Okay.
Cobra Kai, and that's it.
Oh.
Yeah, it's either 5 or 6. I think it's.
I was thoroughly pissed that my prediction didn't come true.
I was too. I was totally rooting for that, Chris.
I know, man. That would have been perfect. It would have been perfect.
I've switched it to a different female.
I mean, both of Chris's really good theories, neither one of them came true, which was the Tory theory and the Alley theory. And I was like, damn it.
Yeah, not even close.
Yeah, there was an awkward fucking scene that I watched. I'm assuming it's going to have some type of resolution later in the series with what's her name, in her apartment complex that completely resembles where Daniel's son grew up, and her landlord.
It's the same apartment.
And the landlord, that scene where he's tried.
Oh, that's in the same episode. I thought they got involved right then.
No,
obviously it's gonna get resolved, so I'm not like worried about that part. But but man, that was fucking twisted.
Yeah, it's weird, creepy. Yeah.
Are you guys talking about Cobra Kai still?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Okay. Did you not watch it, Matt?
I have not watched it yet. I started.
Hey, put down fucking Bugs Bunny for a second. Go finish Cobra Kai.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's karate season. Yeah.
Gil LaRusso, Gil LaRusso.
I actually started to watch it. And then
Usually your jokes are fairly shitty. That was a good one.
New year. I'm good for one a year. So I'm out.
So, anyway, if anybody wants to take over Jack's place on the show, there's an open slot. We fit you in. He might. Oh, you know what? Oh, there he is. He's still back. Sorry.
Well, you know what? It has been a while, and there's some folks in the chat who have joined us after our 3-week absence.
I can't believe there's this many people watching us. So thank you to
Barry, John, Chris, Randy, Will, Kim, some dude named Nicholas,
Fred,
Greg. Oh, I missed you too, Greg.
Mike,
John,
Jesus,
Sherry,
Jesus.
Hope,
and some guy named Matt.
I like that guy.
I'm not looking at the chat list. I'm looking at the comments page on streaming.
I am too.
I started watching The Boys again.
Okay.
Yes.
And all I can say is I can never look at Elizabeth Shue the same way again.
Right.
Or in a better light, or
Well, up until a certain point, it was nice, and then I went. I was like,
oh,
I was like, yeah, okay.
Oh, that, right, yeah.
Not quite Elizabeth Shue scene.
I mean, at least have. It couldn't have been a better looking guy.
Wait, first, we need to ask Matt if he finished yet.
Wait, is this happened in season 2 or season 1?
Yeah, she has a cameo in season 2.
Season 2.
So I must not have made it to that point.
No, I'm
Because
sorry.
You won't forget.
no.
It's twisted as shit.
I burned through season 1. Like
Yeah.
I got Prime and I was like, this is
Burned
what you.
through Elizabeth Shue too.
But then I got to season 2 and
I got it. I'm old.
and I liked it, but it just, I think binging it after a while, because like every night I just needed to take a shower, like both mentally and physically. I was just like, there's too much blood on me.
Well, when you go whale watching, it can be rough. Oh, you're way behind then.
I don't.
I thought that's where. I'm sorry.
I
thought that's where you were going. I thought that's where you were going with it. So
Yeah, no.
Okay,
I've seen
all
the
right.
whale scene though.
Okay.
Yeah, I've seen that. So, but anyway, I had to like take a break from it. And season 2, it just at that point, I think the thing with season 1 is that everything seems like anyone can die, and it doesn't seem like there's an actual like structure. And then by the time you get to season 2, you're like, okay, this is the structure. These are the people. These are the people that are safe, and these are the people that they're going up against that are safe. And it didn't seem like there was any like these stakes. Like at least with the first season, it was like every episode you're like, holy shit. And then the next episode, if there's not a holy shit moment while you're watching The Boys, it's not The Boys.
Well, the first episode has that.
Every episode, I think, in the first season.
No, I'm saying the second season. It had a I didn't see coming episode.
Yeah.
Moment.
I'll jump back into it, Also.
And again, the whole Elizabeth Shue thing, I was like going, what the fuck is going on here? I don't get it.
Because you forget, and all of a sudden you're like, oh.
No, I knew what happened in season 1, and I'm like going, well, how's this possible?
Right. That's what I mean.
No,
you forget, but you're forgetting about, because I don't want to give too much away, but because what happened in season 1, and so you're like, wait a minute, and then you're like, oh, I mean, it hits you, and you're like, that's so fucked up.
Yeah, it just like ruined my night.
Game.
It just ruined my night. Let's just say that. I just
You know what ruins my night more than anything?
A commercial break?
It does.
It does mine too.
What's great though is that on the bonus show we don't do commercial breaks. It's just full force, no stops.
So the
Did I miss the Patriots?
Yeah.
Did I miss the Patriots playoff game this week?
I got the number for you.
Thank you. I appreciate it. We didn't have that little half a second pause for me to write down the time.
I got it. We're good.
Because usually on Twitter, the Patriots fans are everywhere, but I just
No, they were just ragging on the Colts. So,
Dude, our team fucking sucked this year.
Or if they got banned, I
Everybody
don't know.
knows it. Everybody from New England realizes that our team is shit. It is what it is.
Well, you know.
But speaking of TV shows, I also finished another show. I did finish 3 seasons of Designated Survivor.
Oh,
That thing was on for
Um,
3 seasons.
It was so, and I didn't know the story behind it all, the
Well,
production of the show until I was watching the 3rd season, because I noticed a marked difference when season 3 started. So it was on ABC or CBS, one of those fuck nut networks, and they dropped it after the 2nd season. They canceled, and then Netflix came in and picked them up for the 3rd. And the 3rd season was only 10 episodes. But it was funny because I didn't know this going into it. But I'm like, what is different about this show? But you can tell in season 1, within the first 4 minutes of episode 1, season 3, they just all of a sudden they all have dirty mouths. So they're all just like swearing like sailors. I'm like, whoa, what? They weren't swearing on this show. Like, what is this? This is like I'm watching the Ramblecast. It's weird. And then there's main characters just disappeared. Like they didn't bring people back for contract negotiations, whatever. But I'll say this: that show is very predictive, I should say. Because I'm going back in like the time frame and when it was released, and almost all 3 seasons have come true. Like, it's fucking crazy. It is nuts. And Matt just asked, didn't we have a Designated Survivor event? Yeah, we fucking did. And literally the plot from the show, from season 1 of the show, unfolded in front of our eyes. When there was one, I mean, we're halfway through the show at this point. We haven't started talking about this yet. I don't know how long we're going to talk about it, but
I go ahead. Release.
There's a Senator Hawley, little piece of shit, who barricaded himself in a safe room in one of the fucking lockdown areas, blah, 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 by himself. And I'm sitting here, I'm like, holy shit. I even tweeted out to like Netflix and to Kiefer Sutherland. I was like, dude, do we really have like a Peter McLeish scenario unraveling in front of us right now with this
Kiefer Sutherland was like,
senator?
I don't understand that tweet.
I was way too high.
The 3 episodes were no, it's crazy.
No, I meant Kiefer Sutherland. Like he's reading the tweet. He's like,
I mean, yeah, I was, but I mean, I had my faculties.
No, we're talking about. We know you're stoned. We're talking
about Kiefer Sutherland.
I definitely was at that point.
He's on the Keef. He was named after it. Go ahead.
So, anyways, it's like the first season talked about this crazy event at the Capitol building that just fucks everything up. Blah blah blah.
It blows up.
And in the second, I think it was the second season. No, the 3rd season, there was a pandemic.
Oh.
Huh. Yeah.
So we gotta blame all these problems on ABC.
I'm telling you, the show is like Nostradamus.
Yeah, it's like the movie 2012. Like if they just would stop shooting John Cusack, because all the bad stuff happens around John Cusack. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
Whatever happened to Nostradamus predictions? Anyone ever talk about them anymore?
Not really.
It would be funny to do like how the movie 2012 should have ended. Like somebody just comes along and kills
John Cusack.
Yeah, he's like, okay, now it's done. He was
radio.
Everything's fine until he gets to where he's going.
They shoot him right in the chest, right? All right, go ahead, Chris. I know you got some built up.
I mean, that's all that I have to say about that movie or a TV show.
So you're saying I go back and finish it, or
it? I'll be honest with you. So it really, I was upset at the end. I really was. Because you could tell
they did it wrong.
Yeah, they fucked it. They fucked it hard. The first 2 seasons were outstanding. I loved the first 2 seasons.
Okay, hold on. Outstanding on this show is terrible.
Yeah.
Or is it like Breaking Bad is outstanding?
Okay, all right.
Designated Survivors outstanding?
It's in the minor leagues of
Okay, all right.
outstanding of the minor leagues, I should say.
Okay.
That's a good analogy. It's of the lesser shows, it's excellent.
Of the shit shows, it's not bad.
So I'm saying, like, because there's the list, like the list you give a complete stranger, like these are the shows you have to watch before you die, and then these are the ones that like, hey, give it a shot.
If you get through that list, go to this one.
If you're on death's door,
yeah,
pop it in the DVD.
Fraggle Rock?
Yeah,
Really? I'm supposed to watch Fraggle Rock before I die? Okay, I guess I'm watching it.
Dude, yes, you should fucking watch Fraggle Rock.
Oh man, and what happens to him at the end? Like when he moves, and you're like, is he ever gonna see the Fraggles again? And you're like,
I haven't seen it yet.
Okay, well, spoilers. Skip ahead a little bit for a show that you should have watched.
That was HBO, wasn't it?
Was what? HBO.
Yeah, it was.
1984. So.
It all comes back to HBO.
I remember as a kid, my parents getting a divorce totally sucked. The cool things about it were the double Christmases and cable. So, and then once one of them got cable, the other one was like, "Fuck, I gotta get cable." Yeah, because like Matt just keeps talking about this fucking cable channel that he can't watch now, and I need to have cable to keep up with him.
Yeah, because I don't want to be the sucky parent.
I didn't do this. I did not this was not a manipulative thing. But when my mom did get cable, I was now she didn't get the special channels. My dad did. My dad, of course, the Bachelor living. He's like, I'm gonna pay extra for HBO and Showtime. So that's when I could watch the Fraggles. So.
Can I get political for a hot second?
Can I say before you get there? When my mom and dad split up, my dad got a satellite dish.
Oh
wow!
And that's when TV was free, and you could just get you could watch like East Coast shows. It was one of the originals, like the NASA space thing.
Nice.
You could watch any football game, but then they started making you have to pay for it and stuff like that.
Chris, is it a quick point, or because I've got lots of shows I want to talk about?
It's a very quick point. I know I've mentioned this before on the show, but I have to mention it again. It has proven that Matt Gaetz has the fucking most punchable face on the face of the planet. Like I'm watching him in the corner of my eye. I'm like, I just want to punch him in the face. Like, did you see that picture someone posted of him in douchebag? I'm gonna close my eye blind when the gym coach.
It seriously looked like
Jordan.
Beavis and Butthead.
It looked like Beavis and Butthead. The two of them together.
Him just anywhere looks kind of like Butthead. Like so.
Oh, but Matt Gaetz, dude, like he just looks like a piece of shit. Sorry.
He's my cousin.
Well, fuck your cousin. You're not Florida man.
Every time I see him, I think you give Matt's a bad name. So.
Actually, it's pretty spot on, I thought.
A show that I finally got to watch that I told you guys I was going to watch it while I was at my sister's house was Ted Lasso.
Oh, yes.
I thought you were going to watch
The world needs more Ted Lasso right now.
Yeah.
Ted Lasso needs Ted Lasso because he's split from Olivia Wilde.
I don't know how. He split from her. She split because I can see her dumping him, but not the other way around.
I think she's hanging out with Harry Styles.
Yeah, she's with Harry Styles now. Yeah. Anyways, Nick, thoughts?
Go ahead.
So at first, the first couple episodes, I wasn't sold on it. By the third episode, totally into it because the first two episodes are very Major League.
Yeah,
and that's the whole. Yeah. I kept thinking like, wow, they just ripped off Major League. That's the whole premise. But by the time you get to, I think it's the one where they're bullying the guy that becomes the coach,
mm-hmm.
and and the actual older soccer guy, sticks up for him and all that. Yeah. That's when it starts to gel. Mm-hmm. And then when you get to the auction in the fourth episode, if you're not loving that show by that point, then you're just dead inside.
I would agree with your assessment about the first because I watched the first episode and it wasn't quite what I was like, okay. And then like you said, beat for beat, like how it kind of slow and it's like Ted, he wins you over.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Except his wife. I think with Chris though, I think you said it's not a comedy. So when I started watching it, I wasn't expecting to be laughing the whole time. It's funny, but it's more than just a comedy.
Yeah, that's what
I think it's what helped me going into it. That if I would have gone in there thinking, all right, Jason Sudeikis, this is going to be a straight comedy, and it wasn't. I mean, it pulled your heartstrings.
Well, that's what I mean. That's what's so interesting about it, and to me, is that you have really polar opposites of like you have this raunchy English humor that's really in your face, but you also have this really heartwarming center of the story, which is what makes it. Is that he is really a good person. He's trying to really appeal to the inner person in all these characters, and then you have so many other characters that are all like some of them are really garbage human beings, but
there's a lot of them.
Yeah, but you see like why they are the way they are, and you can see how sometimes they can be the better person, and so it is a nice evolving story.
Well, there's one person on there that cannot be the better person. He's
right, but your
ex-husband.
Oh, right, yeah. He's
yeah. I thought you were
fucking garbage.
and I don't want to give away the end.
I think that guy got some redemption because we see what happens.
Yeah,
his backstory.
Right, but I will say that with the end, though, without spoiling it for anybody, I watched that end episode and then I rewatched it again because I just loved it so much, and how it really you realize that he is not just a coach on the field; he is like a coach in life, and it's just I don't know it's that, but it's also the comedic callback. There's the stinger, the way that it ends, the little how it ends. I will just say, like the season, it has a little moment that it's like it's a callback to the beginning of the whole series, and I like that.
It had a kind of a Rocky 1 ending.
Mm.
Maybe I missed this. There was one thing I did not quite fully understand. What's with the army men? Did we ever understand what that's about? Like why he gives them to people?
His son.
Is it just because of his son?
Yeah,
Okay, I wasn't sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really enjoyed it. My brother-in-law and I watched it together, and we had the same opinion about the first couple episodes, and then after that we were hooked. We're like, oh man, we got to and of course we were staying up late to watch it because we couldn't have the nephews around with all the wankers.
Cussing. Yeah.
Whole time when his wife came on the screen, I go, "What show was she in?" And I finally figured out Better Off Ted.
Oh yeah, that's right. I remember that show.
She goes, "I don't know." I go,
she was like the love interest in Better Off
Ted. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Oddly enough, she's in another Ted show.
Yeah, exactly.
It's these Teds.
I'm better with Ted or not.
Oh, and I also loved because it's a fish out of water story as well. And Ted Lasso, and I liked a lot of the miscues for slang and things like that. Like when the owner says something like "master stroke," and he's like, "Hey, I don't think we can say that anymore." It's 2020, and I'm like, "Oh my god, I lost my shit."
Wait,
when he gets handed the fucking seltzer water.
Oh yeah,
yes,
I did that.
Yeah,
I couldn't stop. I had to rewind it because I was laughing for too long. I missed the next dialogue.
We landed in Switzerland. We got water, and I went, "Oh God, what the?" I'm just like, and then people are looking at me like fucking stupid American.
I guess because I drink seltzer water all the time.
right.
I do too.
So, but it is hilarious though.
Garbage, and it wasn't cheap.
Well,
no.
I liked, to Nick's point, like some of the subtle jokes or humor. There's a moment at the bar where the two American coaches are talking, Ted and Beard guy, and he says to him like, "And can't they start just calling cigarettes like something else?" And it's
2020.
Yeah. It's really saying they don't say it, but
they don't say it.
You know what they're saying.
Yeah.
You have to understand English words.
And he's like,
I got it.
for real. And I think it's just also one of those cultural things too. That's just like seeing it from their viewpoint. And
those guys in the bar that just treat him like shit.
Oh, yeah.
And he's
but everybody does. Everybody does. It's like, "Hey, Wanka, nice job tonight." And you're like, "Okay, I'll take it." Like,
after watching it, how I went for like a whole week calling everybody a wanker.
I remember you came on the show pretty hot and heavy with the wanks.
You wanker.
They were wanks to give.
I did. You know, what makes a good ensemble though is the other characters, because I love both Coach Beard and Nathan.
Yes.
You know, I thought they were both really interesting characters that have a nice. The what?
When they get the man group together.
Yeah. Oh yeah. The Diamond Dog. Yeah.
Diamond Dog. It was
The best though was Coach, like the side of Coach Beard you didn't know that you're gonna get when he was like he was all hot and heavy over a chess game.
Yeah.
But also when he tells Ted, no, it's about winning.
Yeah.
And Ted
Because
goes,
he had such a valid point there. It's like, because when you're coaching college, yeah, you can do that. He's like, but no, these guys are professionals. And, it's like, I was like, whoa. And I did like, like even the silent treatment, like,
oh, yeah.
He's like, one into the face, like, oh, that's how it's going to be. Like, just a lot of good stuff in it,
You can't just turn around. He's not there anymore.
Yeah, but good show. I mean, I don't want to get too much into it and spoil people who haven't seen it.
It's okay.
Yeah, but if you have Apple, if you have access to Apple TV, watch Ted Lasso. I highly recommend it. Good show.
It's a must. Plus, Sudeikis liked one of my tweets. So,
great. Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. No, yeah.
I was going to say the other thing I watched on Apple, because might as well, have it free to me. The movie that Jack watched, which was Greyhound with Tom Hanks.
Tom Hanks, yeah.
Yeah, that was decent. I give it thumbs up to watch. If you want like a good just action film, World War II film, it is good and entertaining. It's not heavy at all on character development or characters. It's really just straight up, we're a destroyer and we're hunting down submarines. And if you just want that, then it's right up your alley. But
hunting down YouTube boats.
Sometimes everybody needs a little bit of that.
Yeah.
But I did find, before we get into too political here, when I was doing some research on Band of Brothers, Stephen Ambrose, who wrote Band of Brothers, he told Tom Hanks, yeah, you can have it, but you can't play Dick Winters, who was the main character in Band of Brothers. He told him, he goes, I don't want you playing Dick Winters.
Well, he is too old. He'd been too old to play the character.
Well, wouldn't stop Tom. I almost said Cruise, Tom Hanks before. But he said, yeah, I don't want you playing the main character.
So, it makes sense. Because he'd already had played, in Saving Private Ryan. Like,
right.
I wouldn't have wanted him in it either. It's like you already have that kind of role. You don't need to have it again. Band of Brothers is perfect. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to the next one because, we talked about this a while back. They're going to make a third series now, but it's not going to be for HBO. And it's going to be all about the European air war. So it's going to, see B-17s and P-51 Mustangs and all that. And I'm really looking forward to that. I think it'll be an excellent show. Yeah.
All right. I think I'm about done. I don't think I'm rewatching Dallas. I guess I could say that.
Wait. How can you be done? There's only 47 minutes in this show.
No, as far as this kind of crap,
you're like what? You're just like, I got to get all of this shit out of the way first, before.
Well, I'm just saying, Nick
that's for the after show. That's for the after show.
I did get my parents watching Man in the High Castle. They are enjoying that.
So they might finish it.
No, they watched season 1, and
they're probably going to finish it
before me.
Oh yeah, they'll probably finish it.
They will finish it before me.
Yeah, it was one of those where it took them quite a while to figure out how to access Amazon on their smart TV. And like, it's a fucking app. You click on the app, and then you say, "I want to watch Man in the High Castle," and then they're like, "Oh, sorry."
Matt probably has the same problem. We're older, so you get the.
I am older. I came back to Facebook just to post things on the Jay and Jack Facebook.
He did.
I go 3 weeks. I don't have to do anything.
He also did promote work that he's not doing. Selling of some items that Just saying.
You mean my Girl Scout cookies for my daughter?
Yeah, your Girl Scout cookies. Yeah, you didn't.
Now
I
will say this though. I've always shared information, and I put it out there mainly for.
That's why you came back. I didn't see your post.
No, I came back for sharing a Facebook, page or group or what have you. But my wife actually got on and she shared the information for my daughter's Girl Scout cookies. which I don't mind because a lot of family members like to help out and support my daughter.
Isn't that kind of cheating, though?
This is the okay. I don't want to get into the long and short of this because
No, I'm just saying when I was
I had a friend who actually like gave me shit for like my daughter or me sharing information about
really?
my daughter. Like, and I was just like,
I was just making a joke.
no, I was just like, fuck that, like whatever, like I'm trying to help my daughter out. Like,
Was it Chris? Were you stepping on his daughter's turf?
I'm not raking in tons of cash here on the Girl Scout cookies, and I appreciate everybody that helps my daughter. My daughter actually isn't somebody out there that's like, I'm gonna get 300 boxes sold, and I'm gonna get the trip to my mama. What I don't know.
All these cookies are better than Grandma's chocolate chip.
Those are Matt's special cookies. Yeah.
Yeah, if only. If only.
All right, that one.
So anyway, that I don't know how we got sidetracked onto that. I was talking about.
So someone really attacked you for cheating on that?
No, they just gave me shit, or my daughter, or they just gave me shit about like that it should be my daughter selling it and not me, and it's like, you know what, like I share the link so that all my family members. This is the fastest way. I don't have a family share where all of us are together because you know what? They're all over the place. Like,
Yeah.
4 different sides. Like I got a divorced family, and then you got my wife's family.
And you have one guy that's going to see people. He's being catfished all over the country, right?
I don't really want to talk about that.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You want to talk about that on the other show?
Okay, I'm sorry. I thought that was public knowledge.
No, that is not public knowledge. Thank you very much. But
I'm talking about the fish.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, like there's
my catfish, nothing better. I'm in Raleigh now.
Well, my part is
that's good eating. Good eating.
But like just going to like back when we used to be able to work in offices, this time of year or whenever you do, like you have like 3 or 4 parents that all have little girls selling Girl Scout cookies, and they'll put out like a list saying like order from Cammie, and like a lot of us, like including myself, it's like if the Girl Scout comes into the office and asks me to buy cookies, I can't even eat cookies, but I'll buy them from her because she's like, asking me,
get the right way, unlike other people.
Yeah, like and so that's just kind of what I, it's like, oh, you're making an effort. It's the same as like Boy Scouts standing outside a grocery store. Girl Scouts do it too, but they're trying to sell stuff. Is if they walk up to me and say like, hey, like, would you like to help support me going on my camping trip? I'm like, yes, I would. But I'm not just gonna like buy it.
Bug spray.
What? What, Chris?
Some DEET.
Here's an air mattress. Anyhow, I like I said, but is it like $5 a box now?
It's ridiculous.
More than that.
It's more than that. Like
it's gone up again.
It's smaller. It's ridiculous. Like they still sell the kernels by itself, which I'm like, who has a popcorn maker these days? I mean, I used to, but everyone does. Everyone does the microwave now. But the microwave box, like just the box of like a pack of 20, I want to say it was like $25, and I was like, that better be some damn good popcorn, kid. I'm just saying, I can go right now in this grocery store and buy a 20-pack from Herbal Reckenbacher for like $5. Whoever his name is.
Did you say Herbal Reckenbacher?
Yeah, whatever his name is. I don't eat enough popcorn.
Orville. It's a southern name.
When was the last time you bought popcorn?
Years ago.
Okay, yeah, because you buy like a 4-pack or it might even be a 3-pack of popcorn. It's like $4.
And popcorn is like the cheapest thing.
Yeah. To make. Yeah, I don't really buy it. It's not good for me. Popcorn. It's a lot of carbs. Like the only time I eat popcorn is at the movie theaters.
I used to call it Pop Maze, but I can't do that anymore since 23andMe.
What?
When you find out you were
follow that, I
found out I was white, so I could no longer say. I used to say Maze for everything, but I can't.
You can still use the word maze.
I don't want to be called out. Nope.
For
no one calls it maze.
It's not a. Okay.
I think you're creating an issue out of literally nothing.
I don't.
Other than the fact that nobody ever fucking calls it maze.
When I grew up, there was a commercial. You call it corn, we call it maize. From that point on, because I was always told I was Indian,
Mm-hmm.
I said, okay, from that point, I'm going to call it Maze. Then I found out from 23andMe that I'm just this white guy. So I go, well, fuck, I can't say that anymore. Took that away from me. I got nothing. Anyway, I have been learning French. Been trying to learn French.
Really?
Yes.
Like,
Now, I was going to ask you, Matt, do you have trouble remembering what you've learned?
yes, I do.
Because I'll say all day long, I'll go, Je m'appelle Jack. My name is Jack.
Je m'appelle.
Is it Je m'appelle?
Je
See,
m'appelle.
so I already fucked it up. Thanks.
Matt just likes to learn Japanese. That's it. Yeah.
Jack. And then it's, of course, bonjour and all the other shit. But we
Bonjour and all that other shit.
Buongiorno.
Je m'appelle Skeeter.
Fries. Or wait, are they just fries?
Je m'appelle Cooter. Je m'appelle.
I have learned Royale with cheese. So
Oh, you learned that. Oh, that's. I mean, it. I will say that learning.
It's hard because one day Cindy and I we kept going back and forth with how are you? It's if I hear it, I'll know it. But we all day long we were doing it. When is okay, and but it's like because we started watching this woman on YouTube. She has like 1 million subscribers, and that's how she teaches. So that's how we were trying to learn it. So I don't know if that's the right way, the wrong way. Is that wrong?
Well, actually, we just
started watching French TV like you did.
My daughter has been learning French, and so, but because we're doing a lot of homeschooling right now, we got a tutor for her for French, and it helped out a lot.
So that's where the cookie money's going.
So we don't. No Girl Scout keeps the money. Okay, that doesn't work like that.
They're doing it wrong.
Okay, well, anyway, I just was going to say though that even with that hour session with a tutor, she learned how she was pronouncing some things wrong. She was able to kind of brush up on some things that she was misunderstanding. I'm sure having a Japanese tutor would help me because there's certain things that I've learned on my own, but nobody's explained it to me. Well, these go together here, but they don't go together here. I'm just whatever. Blue, blue, blue.
When I was in China,
Konnichiwa.
things that we just as native English speakers, that's debatable. When I was in China, that was one of the things that people would walk up to me. Yeah, exactly. Oral. Would walk up to me with a piece of paper and have there, and there written on it, and they were like, "What does this mean? What's the difference between these words?" And I'm like, "Oh my gosh!" It's don't make me explain the extreme oddness of the English language to you right now. I was like, we have Americans that don't even understand the difference between there, and there. I was like, you want me to explain this to you? But
yeah, our own mnemonic devices don't work. It's like someone made up that little rhyme. I before E, except after C. Except then in this one, in this version, and also in this case too. It's it's the worst trick in the book.
Was that me, Nick, in the private chat?
Yeah.
Okay. Fuck up. Anyway, the first day, Cindy and I are trying to learn 15 words. I said, "Look, this ain't gonna make it." I go, "Let's pick 2 or 3 words a week, and try and get those into our head." And then after I go, because I'm you're old. I'm getting up there. And I said, there's just no way I can remember all this. I can't. It's too difficult.
Well, I was doing the app, which makes it like a game to me. And the reason why I did it that way was because, well, if I'm going to play a game, I want to learn something. It's such an adult, boring.
Better?
It just because it has little reminders hey, you haven't practiced today. You don't want to lose your spot, and
really?
Yeah. So then I'm your app, look this up. So I'm sure there's other apps out there, and if listeners want to give us some feedback,
if you have some French advice, I just got Chris's fries, but joke.
Jack would really also like to learn this French kissing. So if any takers out there that want to give him some firsthand advice,
I'm a catch.
You know what would really help Girl Scouts?
Fuck off, Nick.
Why
That's
do
Chris.
the Girl Scouts set up their booths outside of the dispensaries, man?
That was someone made that point last year. Yeah.
Like, do it.
Probably, yeah.
Who was it said that they should put them out in front of Weight Watchers?
Oh God. Like mail.
You really want to make money.
I think there's probably like a logistical aspect of like you couldn't be right outside the dispensary, but you could be on the block next to it or something, like a couple doors down, but I guess it depends on the.
It's like a gold mine. You'd have to have your own shipment, like to be delivered to your house of like a crate of these things to just set up shop.
So where does all this money go? I mean, I'm not saying, but it's like what, $10 a box of cookies. They make a lot. They seem like they bring in a lot of money.
You know what? I am not the person to ask, but I know that they always talk about it at the meetings. So
let's find out.
Yeah, you know where all the money for this show goes, though. It goes into our bonus episode. We like to keep this.
Sherry just wrote something, but I forgot what she wrote.
She said, Sherry just said, when you reach 40 years of age or older, I don't know. I can't read the rest.
I just read it again. I forgot it again. So,
your short-term memory gets shorter. It takes more memory to move everything. So that's normal. Okay. I just flubbed it.
Eco Biloba.
Though, we really need to wrap this show up because we keep this shorter with less commercials, and then the patrons get to enjoy the bonus episode. You can join us.
Really talk about what's happened.
We can really talk more about some other things maybe that's going on. So, I'm sure we will.
But Matt Gates still needs to be punched in the fucking face.
You know who doesn't need to be punched into the face? All of the
Patrons?
patrons that make this show possible.
I bet there's
Well,
one.
you had a whole fucking month to come up with good names. So go ahead.
I just came up with them on the fly. They're actually inspired by Nick. Real quick though, if you want to send us an email at rcadcast@gmail.com. And you can go over to jayandjack.com. There's links to become a patron, and there's also links for our merchandise. So you can help support the show any way you can, even by just giving us a rate or a review on iTunes. We would appreciate that. The patrons that make this show possible, I work on their names at the very last second. They are all Eagles influenced. I have wanted to do this one for so long. Tack it easy, okay? I wanted to do that one for so long, so I had to. So then
you're off to a great start.
Well, the rest of these go downhill from here. So
as they usually do. This is where it gets great.
I like the peaceful Eckhart feeling.
Okay.
Okay. If you're ever in California, stay at Hotel Ed. Yeah, I was backwards there, but he's in California. Okay.
Nobody would stay at that hotel.
What about?
Ed?
Okay, I also wrote down Hotel Edifornia.
Okay, that's
Edifornia. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Edifornia.
Maggie Woman. Like,
what the fuck, Matt? This is like the worst decline in the history.
It was like instead of
knocked in the park with Tag and Easy,
I could have
like punch me in the Jimmy. Like this is terrible.
I could have gone with Witchy Maggie, but I went with Maggie Woman.
You had a month.
I know, I had a month. Joanne Arado.
They're so bad.
One of these, Greg's. One of these. Okay, actually, for Greg, I actually had Greg Godot. So I came up with that one before the show started. So
you probably should have stuck with that theme.
You know what we're gonna do?
Good, he derailed. I mean, just
did he derail? He fucking just disappeared. Like
I hope the patrons forgive me and they join us on the patron bonus show where I'll come up with new names.
Stop being patron. What are you talking about?
Well, I'm gonna come up with some new ones for the next one. So We'll send out the link and we'll join. I hope everybody joins us. We'll say in about 10 minutes on the Facebooks. You'll see a link drop there. And thanks for joining. This was a great show. It was 1 in 2021. I'm fucking it up.
21.
Chris, you finish us out.
It was a long run.
Chris, finish us off. Which one of us?
That was a good one, Nick.
All right, so it's good to see all you guys back. It's good to have you guys in the chat, and hopefully, if you're listening at home, maybe we gave you at least an hour's worth of distraction from the rest of the things happening. So hope everyone's doing well, and we'll see you next week.
Stay safe out there.
Good night.